Semiconductor chipmakers Nvidia and AMD have reached an unusual agreement to pay the U.S. government 15% of their revenue generated by chip sales in China. The move is a condition of the export licenses to China that the companies were provided with last week. Javier David joins us now. He's a CBS News contributor, also business editor at the Dallas Morning News. Javier, thanks for being with us. We're tossing around the words unusual, unprecedented. How unusual is it, though, for publicly traded companies to share revenue with the government in this country? Have we ever seen something like this before?
Yeah, I mean, it's highly unusual, to be honest. It's kind of capitalism by quid pro quo, or whatever Hannibal Lecter once said to Clarice Sterling at one time. It's like the tariff rates, like it's another sort of cover charge that seems to be meted out by the government, sort of by fiat, and this has to be the first Republican White House in recent history to sort of stake a claim by making it more costly for both businesses and consumers. The ostensible purpose behind this is national security. It makes it harder for China to access critical chips that they need to build out its AI. But the end result is more money flowing to the federal government's coffers. And just to throw out a couple of numbers at you, Nvidia is projected to sell about $15 billion worth of this particular chip through the end of the year. AMD, about $800 million worth of processors, according to Bernstein Research. So that translates into about $2 billion worth of revenue for the U.S. government, if in fact this comes to pass. So it accomplishes a couple of purposes, which is rebalancing trade and sort of generating money Uncle Sam needs to pay off its debts.
Yeah, generating a lot of money at that. And Javier, looking ahead here, the July Consumer Price Index, it's going to be released tomorrow. The Producer Price Index to be released on Thursday. So what is the Federal Reserve looking for here in order to potentially lower interest rates in September? And how possible is that really?
Yeah, so interestingly, this is the very first time, the first of the series that since the president fired the Bureau of Labor Statistics person who oversees this data. So, if we can't trust the jobs data, can we trust inflation figures? But what investors are looking for is to see whether this run of benign price data can continue, or whether the lag from tariffs eventually manifests itself. Wall Street is whispering a lot about stagflation. So investors are already running a Fed rate cut in the fall. It's far from guaranteed, but this will play into that thinking. People want to see something that solidifies that the Fed is really concerned about protecting jobs and is prepared to cut rates.
All right. I'm sure we'll talk to you about those numbers later this week. Javier David, in the meantime, thank you very much.
Sure thing.